Now the first conversion is ethanol to ethene, means you have to convert CH3 CH2 OH group to CH2 double bond CH. Now this is something dehydration. Okay, what you need to do, you need to do dehydration, and dehydration will be done by concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4 will remove one hydrogen from here and OH from here, and you will get CH2 CH2, that is ethene. So remember, dehydration is normally in such cases when OH is there. Okay, dehydration of alcohols can very easily be done by concentrated H2SO4. Ethanol to propane 2O. Now this is very important, and I always suggest that you write the reactant and you write the product first so that you get the path. So it is CH3CHO. You need to write like this because you have to consider the ketonic group here. Okay, carbonyl group CO. How you convert it to, and what you need to convert it to? You need to convert it to propane to all. Okay, so propane to all, obviously OH we need here at the top. So O needs to be converted to OH, and it is CH3CH3. But we need one more carbon as well. Okay, now because we need one more carbon here, carbonyl group is there, so we won't be using KCN or H2O. That is lengthier way. Okay, and also not very effective way. Here what we will do, we will use the Grignard reagent. Remember, to increase the number of carbons, one of the very effective way apart from using KCN is using the Grignard reagent. So here you need one more methyl group, so you will be using CH3MgBr. With that you will get, now I have already told you here R is actually the negative part and MgBr is the positive part because magnesium is highly electropositive. So the negative part will go to electropositive and positive part will go to electronegative. And what you will get here, you will get CH3 CH3 OMgBr. CH3 got attached to carbon and CH was already there. Okay, so that's why CH here, OMgBr. After that you do acidic hydrolysis. When you do acidic hydrolysis, then this MgBr will get replaced by H plus. Okay, and you will get OH. Now I'll tell you a few very important things here. When you have to get to OH, right? Because last step in most of the cases, for example, you have to get the alcohol. Okay, you have to get the alcohol. So to get the alcohol directly, suppose no carbon increase is required, suppose it is same number of carbon, then from ketone to alcohol it will directly be using lithium aluminum hydride NaBH4. Yeah, you can do reduction through nickel H2 or you use lithium aluminum hydride. Okay, you use NaBH4, directly you will get the alcohol. So I am telling you the last step to get the alcohol, last step. So in this case, directly, if there is no increase in the carbon. So if it would have been here instead of ethanol, propanol to propan to all. Okay. For example, here, then there would have been different reaction. Okay. In that case, it was easier to get the primary, and then obviously I'll tell you there is one reaction how to get the second. Okay. Another way is that the last step will be hydrolysis. So one is the reduction. I'm telling you the last steps only. Okay. Second is hydrolysis, which will give you the alcohol. Okay. acidic hydrolysis, and most probably that will be from when you get the adduct, okay, the intermediate after getting reacted with Grignard reagent. Okay, so these are two, and another one is when you use the KOH, aqueous KOH. Okay, aqueous KOH gives you the alcohol. So at least remember that reduction by lithium aluminum hydride, NaBH4, nickel hydrogen, or hydrolysis, acidic hydrolysis, or aqueous KH, most probably will be used if you are converting anything to alcohol. These three are very important to remember. Next, propene to propan to all. Okay. Now, here you already know that it is propene, no increase, no decrease, and it is rather very easy. Yes, I'll show the previous slide, Rivanta, just after this one. Now, here what you need to do, you need to attach OH here and H here. That's what you need to do. And in all such cases, you do acidic hydration. Nothing else, simple. Just acidic hydrolysis, not hydration, hydrolysis, okay? Acidic hydrolysis. So acidic hydrolysis will be as per Markov-Nikov rule. As per Markov-Nikov rule, out of OH and H, OH will get attached to the carbon which has less number of hydrogen. So this will be Markov as per Markov-Nikov addition. So OH will get attached to that carbon which has less number of hydrogen, similar to Markov-Nikov. Okay. You will understand yourself, Khushi. We will talk about why we didn't use aqueous QH here. Okay. Okay. I'm not explaining because we have those type of conversions there. So we needed secondary alcohol here, and we did acidic hydrolysis because we needed Markov-Nikov rule to be followed. Okay. Now 2-methyl pentene to 2-methyl pentan to all. So first write what is the reagent. Okay. So 2-methyl pentene, we can have CH3 here, 2-methyl, CH, CH2, CH3, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay. From this, we need to get 2-methyl pentan 2-ol. CH3, C, CH3, OH, CH2, CH2, CH3, like this. Now again the same thing. We have to attach the OH here and H here. Acidic hydrolysis. Abdish, Khushi, C, correct. Okay. So OH we need on the carbon which has less number of hydrogen atoms, here no hydrogen atom, and hydrogen on the carbon which has higher number of hydrogen atom. Hence we will use the acidic hydrolysis. Simple. Write down, okay? Very common conversions, very common conversions. And remember, all those three will be very handy. So Rebanta, this is the previous question. Today, I think 3 students are not feeling well. Down with fever. Okay, so the next question, 2-methyl propene to 2-methyl propanol. Again, very similar one, okay, very similar one. But here we have to use the ON on the last carbon. Okay. So first write the formula of 2-methyl propene, CH3C CH3 2-methyl propene. Okay. We have to convert it to 2-methyl propanol, CH3 2-methyl propanol. Yes, 2-methyl propanol. Yes. So how do we convert it? We can use hydrolysis, okay, but that will introduce OH on the middle carbon. That will introduce OH on the middle carbon. Okay. So what we need to do? Okay, aqueous QH. Tanishka, I'll show the previous slide later on. There is nothing like, Tanishka, here anti-Markovnikov rule. That is, the acidic hydrolysis is similar to Markovnikov rule, okay, but nothing anti-Markovnikov except HBr. For anti-Markovnikov, only HBr, nothing else. Okay, nothing else. So anti-Markovnikov rule is applicable only for HBr. Yes. Now tell me, how do you convert this to 2-methyl propanol? Aqueous KH you can use. Okay. Yield will not be very good. Another is, if you remember that we talked about hydroboration. Okay, reaction with B2H6, which gives you, obviously there will be 3 steps in conversions. You don't need to write conversions. You can write BH3 or you can write B2H6, both will be correct. Okay. So what we are doing here, we are doing hydroboration. With that, you will have 3 molecules of this one, CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, whole thrice, sorry, boron, B, not Br. It is something like R3B, which is produced. Okay. After that, in the last step, you have hydrogen peroxide with a base. So this is H2O2 OH minus. Obviously 3 OH minus because 3 OH are required. And you get 3 molecules of this one. So instead of writing 1 molecule, you can write 3 of CH3, CH, CH3, CH2, OH. The yield in this one is better as compared to aqueous QH. Question number 4. Yes, you are right. Double bond will be here. Yes. Answer will be same, but yes, correct. In that case, you will have hydrogen here. Answer will be same. So in this particular case, if you do hydroboration, the yield will be good. So you need to remember, you need to give the best answer. However, if you use aqueous QH, that is not the wrong answer. That is also correct answer. Concentrated S2S4 Tathagat we can't use because that is basically the reverse reaction that will actually remove OH and H. Yes, Khushi Singh, you will get all these questions as assignment. Okay. and most probably in your test also. No, Karthik Tyagi, it won't be the minor product, but there will be a mixture of the products. Yes, Tanishka, now you got it. If you need OH on the primary carbon, okay, on the terminal carbon, you need to use hydroboration. So reaction with H2O2, 3OH minus, that will lead to primary alcohol. Now butane 2-on to butane 2-ol. This one is very easy. I have already told you, if you don't need to change the number of carbon atoms, it is simply CO group to COH group. You can use anything, lithium, aluminum hydride, or NaBH4, or nickel H2, whatever you like. So CH3, CH2, CH3, you have to convert to CH3, CH2, CH. Butane 2-on to butane 2-ol. If you had to introduce one more alkyl group CH3, then you will use the Grignard reagent first, and after that you will do acidic hydrolysis, then you will get the alcohol. Okay. Propanone to 2-methyl propan 2-on. Propanone CH3CO CH3. You need to get 2-methyl propan 2-on. CH3 CH3 OH. Now remember, you have to increase one alkyl group here. So if you have to increase the one alkyl group, you need to use CH3MgBr. So it will give you CH3C, CH3, this will get connected here, and OMgBr. After that, you do acidic hydrolysis. MgBr group will be replaced by H. Okay, why we used Grignard reagent CH3MgBr? Because we had to attach one methyl group. This methyl group comes from here. Next, methyl magnesium bromide to 2-methyl propan 2-ol. Now here Grignard reagent is given, so obviously you can convert, you can react, get it reacted with ketone or aldehyde depending on what you need. Okay, so here CH3MgBr is given. You have to convert it to 2-methyl propanol. So again, very easy one. You already have done this. Okay, means it should be propanol. So you have CH3MgBr, you should get it reacted with propanol, so that it is basically the previous question, nothing else. It is actually the previous question. Instead of propanol, CH3MgBr is given, methyl magnesium bromide, the Grignard reagent is given. Next, ethyl magnesium chloride to propan-1-ol. Now it is again the similar thing. You have been given ethyl magnesium chloride CH C2H5 MgCl, and what you need to get propan-1-ol CH3 CH2 CH2OH. So here two carbon groups you already have in C2H5, means you need just one. You need just one, it means it can't be ketone. It has to be aldehyde having only one carbon, that is HCHO. So in previous one we were getting reacted ketone, okay, because we required 4 carbons here. So that's why we got 3 carbons from propanol, acetone. Here we have been given ethyl magnesium chloride, 2 carbons are already there. We need 3 carbons. It means 1 carbon only is required. So we used aldehyde, not ketone. So from here, we write HCHO in the way that we can get the reagent easily. So C, H is there, CH3 will get attached here. Oh, sorry, not CH3, C2H5 is there. C2H5 alkyl group will get attached to carbon, and Mg will get attached to MgCl will get attached to oxygen. After that, we do acidic hydrolysis. MgCl which will get converted to OH, and you will get C2H5 CH2OH. Okay, that is propanol. Clear? So you got ethyl magnesium chloride reacted with formaldehyde to get the intermediate, and after that acidic hydrolysis you got propanol or propan-1-ol. Good. You have to memorize all these conversions. Okay, a primary alcohol to an aldehyde. So you have a primary alcohol to an aldehyde. You can take any primary alcohol to aldehyde. So mostly this question doesn't appear like this. Here we are trying to find whether you know that which type of reagent is used. Okay, so whenever you have to convert a primary alcohol to aldehyde, you use PCC. Memorize this thing. Memorize. Okay, PCC. Clear? However, no one is going to ask you what is the full form of PCC, but still, if you want to remember it, it is pyridinium chlorochromate. Okay, it is yellowish color compound. Okay, and if you want to have the formula, that is sometimes if you are preparing for JEE and NEET, then might be useful in that case. Okay, so it is something that pyridine pyran structure is like this. So this is the positive part, and then you have chromate 1, which is the negative part, O minus here. Okay, and Cl. Pyridinium chlorochromate. Now, why we use PCC here? It gets us the maximum yield. Okay, very good yield. So the reaction is very efficient in pyridinium chlorochromate, that is PCC, if you have to convert. Okay. However, there other oxidation techniques can also work. Okay. For example, you can use chromic oxide. Chromic oxide is Cr2O3. So that is also correct, but the yield will not be as efficient as in case of PCC. So suppose we need to have any primary alcohol we take, okay, CH3, CH2, CH2OH. So you can just write it like this, PCC. You don't need to write the full form, pyridinium chromate, okay, chlorochromate, but just PCC, and it will convert it into aldehyde. Two, that will be one only, so it will be CH. Now remember, alcohols will get oxidized to aldehydes or ketones, okay, and these will get oxidized to acids, carboxylic acids. However, single step oxidation from alcohol to carboxylic acid also takes place. How, we will talk about it. Yes, Avnish, we will be using copper at 573 degrees Celsius, okay, and in specific cases, I'll tell you why, okay, when we have those type of conversions. So remember, this is the conversion sequence, that when you oxidize alcohol, you get aldehyde or ketone, depending on whether the alcohol is primary or secondary. If it is primary, you will get aldehyde. If it is secondary, you will get ketone. Okay. So alcohols will get oxidized to aldehydes or ketones, depending on whether it is 1 degree, 2 degree, or 3 degree. In 3 degree, obviously, that is rare. And then these will get oxidized to carboxylic acid, COH. So PCC is actually a good oxidizing agent which converts alcohol to aldehyde. Yeah. Okay. So because we are talking about primary alcohol, that's why aldehyde. So this sequence is followed here, this one. Primary alcohol to aldehyde. Next, cyclohexanol to cyclohexane 1-one. Okay, first tell me. First think about it. What it is? It is actually this one. It is actually this conversion. Okay. Yes, it is actually alcohol to ketone. Okay. 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 Now, here, as I told you, another oxidizing agent. Where did I tell you? Probably I erased that. Okay, I erased that. We can use Cr2O3 for oxidation. In such cases, this is another oxidation. We use Cr2O3, but H2SO4 is required. Otherwise, mechanism doesn't proceed. So how will you write it? You will say it is cyclohexanol. You convert it to cyclohexane 1 on, which is simply from alcohol to ketone, for which this is oxidation. You use Cr2O3 in presence of H2SO4. Remember, you have to memorize all these, okay, conversions. Write these conversions again and again. Now, propan-2-ol to propanone, again the similar thing. Okay, again the similar thing. You can use Cr2O3 with H2SO4, or in such cases you can use potassium dichromate also. That is also oxidizing agent which converts, which is normally used to convert secondary alcohols to ketones. So CH3COCH3 propan 2 or no OH, sorry. Okay. And you can convert it to CH3CO CH3 with whether you use Cr2O3 normally used for secondary, or you can use potassium dichromate also. Okay. K2Cr27. H2SO4 will anyway be required. Okay. So these are oxidizing agents: PCC, CrO3, Cr2O3, potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O7. All these are oxidizing agents. Next, 2-butene to ethanol. So 2-butene means the double bond will be in the middle. You have to convert it to CH3CH2OH. Now remember, you have to convert 4 carbons to 2 carbons, means you have to split this double bond. And to split this double bond, in 11th I have told you formation of ozonide. Okay, I hope everyone remembers that you how to form the ozonide. So you have to form ozonide like this. Okay, I think another step will be required for that one. Once you convert that, yes, so I'll have to write it here. CH3CH2OH we have to form. Okay, so ozonide formation is just reaction with ozone. That is something all of you should know in presence of zinc and H2O. So that will give you the ozonide. Okay, and zinc and H2O, obviously in the second step I have not written that, so write it here. H2O. So when you have zinc H2O, it will split from here. You will get 2 CH3CHO, 2 molecules of CH3CHO. It will divide in this fashion. Then after that, you have to convert aldehyde to alcohol, means this is reduction. You will use lithium aluminum hydride. For reduction. So oxidizing agents we have talked about till now: PCC, Cr2O3, CrO3, potassium dichromate, K2Cr2O7. Reducing agents we have talked about: lithium aluminum hydride, NaBH4, nickel with H2. Okay. Yes, Karthik Dhanai, heart shape, for that you need to remember. Good. Tanishka, no, that's not limited to that. We will be talking about PCC more in the conversions. Okay. Why I am not talking about PCC more? Because we will be talking about in maybe today or maybe in next class. Okay. So that will disturb the sequence. So that's why I'm not talking too much about that. Next, ethylene to N-propyl alcohol. So the space is not there. So ethylene to N-propyl alcohol. So this is something CH2 double bond CH2. You have to convert it to, and this is very important reaction. So just pay attention here. N-propyl means CH3, CH2, CH2, OH. And memorize this reaction. I am telling you in advance. Okay, very important from competition perspective, not very important from CBSE. Okay, now this one is actually known as very important reaction, hydroformylation reaction. Why hydroformylation reaction? Obviously, I'll explain that. And for that, what we do, we have to introduce one carbon. That is something evident. We have only two carbons. We need three carbons. And here we are not going to use KCN. We are not going to use Grignard reagent. This is a specific reaction, hydroformylation reaction. You need to remember, hydroformylation reaction means hydrogen and formaldehyde group you need to add. Means on one carbon you will add hydrogen, and on another carbon, sorry, you will add formaldehyde group. Okay, aldehyde group. So basically it is called hydroformylation reaction. How do you do that? That reaction you need to remember, get it reacted with carbon monoxide and hydrogen in presence of and we are talking about the complex compounds. Most of this has been removed from CBSE. Okay, so this is the catalyst there. Complex compounds are used as catalysts. They are very good catalysts. This actually adds hydrogen and aldehyde, and we get CH3, CH2, CHO. On this carbon, hydrogen got added. On this carbon, CHO got added. And now you know how to convert aldehyde to alcohol. This is reduction. You use lithium aluminum hydride. So the first part only is hydroformylation reaction, not the complete. Okay. Write this reaction and memorize. Specifically, if you are planning to appear in JEE and NEET. Yes, Hushi, you can use nickel and hydrogen palladium also to convert. Okay, but lithium aluminum hydride is very efficient reducing agent, although it is not widely used because it is very costly. You can use nickel and hydrogen for reduction, so that works here as well. Yes, Vijayant, that is another possibility. What you can do, you can first do ozonolysis and then you can form formaldehyde, HCHO. Okay, so this, if you do ozonolysis, sorry, this will give you 2CHCHO. Okay, after that you get it reacted with C2H5 MgBr. Okay, after that you get acidic hydrolysis, then also you will get that. Okay, but in that case you will get secondary, not primary. Okay, but that is also common to get alkene, to get alcohol from alkene, but in this particular case you will get no, you will get primary. Okay, you will get primary in this case. So here you will get C OMGBr. I'm writing it slightly in different way so that it is easier to understand. HCOH. This will get attached on the carbon. MGBr will get attached on the oxygen. So what you get actually HCHC2H5 OMGBr. After that you do acidic hydrolysis. When you do acidic hydrolysis, this will remain CH2, this will be C2H5, and this will get converted to OH. So it is actually C2H5CH2OH, which is same here. So that's another possibility. You can do that. That will require 3 steps. The first one will require 2 steps. And remember hydroformylation reaction if you are planning to appear in JEE and NEET. 2-bromopropane to acetone. Now in this particular case, it is very simple, so I may have had skipped it, but anyway, 2-bromopropane, you have to convert it to CH3COCH3 acetone. Now here, why I am doing it, because Avnish mentioned can't we use the copper with 573 Kelvin. So here what we do, we first convert this to alcohol with aqueous KOH. Okay. It will be CH3COHCHCH3. After that, we use copper 573 Kelvin. It will get converted to ketone. So here we use copper in powder form, and it gives us very good heat. There are many ways to do it. You can convert alcohol to ketone from other ways also. There are many ways, Avnish, okay? So you can choose any. So that's why in different reactions, in different questions, I have used different conversions so that you are aware of all what you can use. Okay. Now, ethanol to 1,1-dichloroethane. Ethanol to 1,1-dichloroethane. So 1,1-dichloroethane means we are trying to have geminal dihalide. Okay, geminal dihalide. And for that, you need to remember aldehydes when reacted with PCl5 will give you dichloride, geminal dichloride. So memorize these things. Okay, what I am telling you to memorize, you have to memorize. So the first step, we have to convert alcohol to aldehyde. So we have to convert CS ethanol OH to 1,1-dichloroethane means CH3 CHCl2 CH3 CH3, yeah, correct. Okay, so first we need to convert to aldehyde, and this is something we just did in previous one. We converted the secondary alcohol to ketone. Primary alcohol we can convert to aldehyde by using the same copper and 573K. Remember, we can't use it for tertiary alcohols. Okay, only for primary and secondary alcohols we have copper in powder form and 573K. In tertiary alcohols, it will be alkene which will be formed. Same copper and 573K will give you alkene, not aldehyde or ketone. After that, you have to convert it to geminal dihalide. Remember, you have to use PCl5. And this is something you have to memorize, that from aldehyde to geminal dihalides, you can obtain from PCl5. Geminal dihalide means the halogen is present on the same carbon. Mainly chloride, because PBr5 does not exist. Okay. One propanol to one chloro to propanol. Tathagat, in which question you are talking about? In the first part? Yes, you can. There are various ways. Okay, as I said, you can use different reducing agents for the same conversion. One propanol to one chloro to propanol. So you have CH3, CH2, CH2OH. You have to produce one chloro 2 propanol, means CH3, CHOH. CH2Cl. Okay. Now here again, very important reaction. This one is okay, because how do you introduce here? You have to introduce OH and Cl both. So, and I'll tell you how to remember that. Okay, in such questions, whenever you see OH and Cl, okay, obviously in a particular fashion, they will be on adjacent carbons always. Then you can use hypochlorous acid, okay, HOCl. So this OH will get attached on one carbon of the double bond. There has to be double bond. Obviously, we will convert alcohol to double bond, and chlorine will get attached to another carbon of the double bond. So we need to introduce the double bond, and double bond we can introduce through dehydration. Concentrated H2SO4. Concentrated H2SO4 will remove OH from one carbon and hydrogen from the adjacent carbon. That is, it will be CH3CH double bond CH2. So we introduce the double bond first, because we have seen the product. In product on adjacent carbon, one carbon has OH, the other carbon has Cl. So we can very well use HOCl there, which will break the double bond and will attach OH on one carbon, chlorine on other carbon. And we can easily convert alcohol to alkene by using dehydration. Aditya, no, we can't use that one, because that is from haloalkanes. If you want to convert haloalkanes to alkenes, then you use alcoholic OH. Hypochlorous acid, Tanishka. And if you write all these conversions two times, there will hardly be any conversion you won't be able to do, because then it is repetition. There are hundreds of conversions, but the underlying concepts are limited to just 20, 25. Okay. Yes, the first part is dehydration. Okay, this is dehydration. Because H was removed from here, OH was removed from this carbon. So removed, removed. So H2O removed means dehydration. N-propyl alcohol to hexane. CH3, CH2, CH2, OH to CH3, CH2, 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 CH3. 1, 2, 3. Oh, 3. Hexane. Okay. So one thing is very much visible, that you have to use Wurtz reaction because you have to double the number of carbons. So the last step has to be Wurtz reaction. For that, you need to convert it to halide. So simple, convert it to halide. Then do the Wurtz reaction. Obviously, I am just writing Wurtz reaction. Don't write it like this. You have to show it like after that. Then second step, twice of CH3, CH2, CH2, Cl plus 2Na in presence of dry ether, and write it is Wurtz reaction. And then you need to write the product. I hope I don't need to explain the Wurtz reaction again. Everyone knows that. Okay. Okay. Next, 1 propanol to 2 bromopropane. So CH3, CH2, CH2OH, and from this CH3C, and this one is very easy. So I am expecting everyone to give me the correct answer. What you will do? Very easy. You know everything about it. As a hint, I can tell you it is just 2 steps process. Okay, correct. Good. Avnish, correct. Prashant, correct. So you just need to introduce the double bond first and then break the double bond in such a way that the bromine gets attached on the carbon, which has less number of hydrogen atoms. Means the second step has to be the Markov-Nikov addition, HBr. For that, you need to have this in the form of CH3CH2. It will give you the Br on the carbon, middle carbon, having less number of hydrogen atoms. And for this, you need to do dehydration again. Okay? Concentrated H2SO4. And write heat also, so that it is clear that otherwise dehydration normally is very slow if you don't provide heat. So first step is dehydration. The second step is Markov-Nikov addition. Two propanol to 1 bromopropane. CH3COH to 1 bromopropane. CH3CH2CH2Br. Now again, very simple one. Very simple one. You should tell me the answer very quickly if we have done the previous one. Just name the first step and second step. You can name the steps. Yes, Avnish, correct. Ritika, correct. Good. Ushi, yes, that is only the first step. Tell me the second step. Aditya, second step, not correct. Kartik Tyagi, good. Ushi, Shrivastava, second step, not correct. Kartik Dhanai, good. Tanishka, good. Aditya, yes, now second step, correct, Aditya. Tathagat, Tathagat, check the first step. Khushi Srivastava, yes, now second step, correct. Khushi Singh, no. Mansha, correct. Khushi Singh, second step, not correct. Yes, sir. Yes, first step correct. Tell me the second step also. Manshu, nope. Vijayant, yes, correct. Aviral, correct. Yes, Tathagat, now correct. Yes, sir. Second step. No. There is no OH required in the. How can you do HOCl? There is bromine anyway. Yes, Himanshu, correct. Second step. Namita, first step. Yes, correct. Second step, yes, are not correct. Namita, correct. For second step. Okay, so it is basically the similar question. This one. You first convert to propene, whether it is primary alcohol or secondary alcohol. The propene will be same. Are you getting it or not? Because when OH will be removed and hydrogen will be removed from any of the adjacent carbons, and any of the adjacent carbons will have the same thing. So no difference in this case. You can have same concentrated H2SO4, it will give you same CH3 CH double bond CH2. But now here, because you need bromine on the primary side, primary terminal carbon, you need to use HBr in presence of peroxide and T-Markovnikov. So the first step is same, dehydration. The second here is anti-Markovnikov. Yes, here it is good. Yes, Vijayant. That's why I said write heat, or if you want to be very specific, you can write 443 K. Otherwise, the dehydration will be very slow. Nobody is going to wait so long. Exact temperature, if you need, that will be 443 K. Next, ethanol to methanol. Okay, now very simple one, but you have to think about it. You will have to think about, because this is something which you have not done till now. Okay. So when we have to get ethanol to methanol, first we will think about how we reduce the number of carbon atoms. Now there are multiple ways to reduce the number of carbon atoms, in which a few, for example, ozonolysis, where double bond will be broken. Okay. So first you can try what you know already. From that you can try to convert it to ethanol to, okay, CH3 CH2OH to ethene, then convert it to aldehyde by ozonolysis, and aldehyde you can convert to alcohol. So that is one way to do it. But what now I am going to tell you is something which you don't know. So the way I have already told you is the way you know. So you convert it to alkene, concentrated H2SO4, CH2 double bond CH2, then ozonolysis, okay, aldehyde. Now aldehyde to alcohol, aldehyde to alcohol, HCHO2 CH3OH. So this is something you already know. And in ozonolysis, just you need to be specific, you need to write there ozonolysis here. Okay. And you can show the heart shape structure as well. Okay. The second way is, okay, and how we reduce the, so what I am telling you, the how to reduce the, another way how to reduce the carbon. For that, we can reduce carbon by converting the amide. Okay, the amide, which you have not done, so that's why uh, amide we have done, means we have done. Okay, conversion of amide to amine. So amide group is CONH2 group, and if we convert it to just NH2 group, it means we reduced one carbon. Okay, and very efficient way to do that is by reaction with bromine and KOH, bromine water. Okay, KOH. So basically, and remember that, okay, Br2 KOH, Br2 and KOH. So you can convert amide to amine by getting it reacted with Br2 and KOH, bromine water. So you need to remember that. So that is one way to reduce the carbon. How we use that here, that's I am going to tell you. We have ethanol, okay, CH3, CH2OH, and we have to convert it to methanol. So for that, we will first convert it to CH3NH2. NH2 group we have to convert it, okay. I said amide group to amine group means we have to convert it to NH2 group. NH2 group means here we will have CH3, which we will convert to CH3OH after that. And obviously NH2 group we got from CONH2 group. It means there was another CH3 here, and this CONH2 group got converted to NH2. CH3 remained same. So it means we need to convert ethanol CH3CH2OH to first CH3CONH2. For that, we first need to oxidize the alcohol to get the acid, because acids can easily be converted to amide. So first we will convert it to acid, and to conversion acid is actually oxidation, and oxidation, direct oxidation from alcohol to acid. So if you remember, I told you that alcohols can be oxidized to aldehydes, and these can be oxidized to acids. But if direct conversion is required, direct oxidation is required, the reagent we use is KMnO4 in presence of H2SO4. So remember that for direct conversion from alcohol to acid, you will use KMnO4 in presence of H2SO4. So in this case, no aldehyde or ketone will be produced, rather directly it will get oxidized to acid. So here we will use KMnO4 and write down all these things. You will need these again and again. KMnO4 with H2SO4, it will directly give you acetic acid. And acetic acid, when you get it reacted with ammonia, obviously you need to heat it, okay? So then it will give you amide. After that, this amide, I have already told you how to convert it. We use bromine with KOH to convert it to amine. And from amine to alcohol, we just use HNO2. So this is something reaction related to, more related to amines we will be talking about when we will be doing conversions. Now we are doing conversions of alcohols and phenols only. I think only alcohols we have been doing till now. We have to do phenols also, anyway we will do in next class then. But these conversions we will be talking about again when we do conversions in amine system chapter. So I'm explaining this reaction again to convert alcohol or how to reduce one carbon in alcohol. This is one of the ways to do that. Okay, the first way you already know. The second is something where the carbons are not symmetrical. For example, if you have to convert propanol to ethanol, what you will do? Okay, you can use this one in specific cases only, the first one, where you need the carbons just half the original one. For example, in the reactant, the carbons were 2, in product you have 1. So you can use first method only where you have to reduce the carbon to just half. But second will be applicable to where you need to reduce one carbon. So understand the difference and why I am going for the second one. Because second one is generic. First one has limitations. So to convert that, first you convert alcohol to acid. Acid can be converted to amide. Amide can be converted to amine. Amine can be converted to alcohol again. So write it, revise it, and then I'll move to the next one. Next, ethanol to 2-propanol. Very easy one. Okay, we have been doing these type of conversions earlier also. So here we have to convert ethanol to CH3, CH2, no, OH. Ethanol to 2-propanol, CH3, CH3, OH. So first look onto the configuration change. We have to introduce one CH3. Most probably we should be using MgBr, okay, Grignard reagent. But we have alcohol. Grignard reagent we can use with aldehyde or ketone. So we convert it to aldehyde. Now OH is a non-terminal carbon. Obviously, it will get converted to sorry, aldehyde. Okay. For that, how do you convert? Now I need to ask you. Okay, how do you convert alcohol to aldehyde? What you can use? First, convert aldehyde, alcohol to aldehyde. How do you convert? Okay, good, good, good. Avnish, Chavla, Prashant, Pandey have given me very good answer. Namita, very good. Yes, Tathagat, you are also correct. Karthik Tyagi, correct. PCC is the best one. Okay, but you can use others as well. Okay, so you can use any oxidation method, but PCC is one of those. You can convert it CH3CHO. Once you have CH3CHO, after that you can use Grignard reagent depending on how many carbons you need. You need one more carbons, so obviously you will use CH3MgBr. You need one more methyl group. Okay. From here you will get CH3COMgBr, CH3. Then acidic hydrolysis, something you have been doing. H plus H2O. Yes, we have used CH3MgBr, Avnish. I think you asked probably before that when I used, okay. Avnish, is that clear what we have done? Okay, good. So remember, Grignard reagent you will be using with aldehyde and ketones most probably. That's why we converted it to aldehyde. Next, ethanol to acetone. This one is slightly, it will require you to think, because you need to introduce one carbon. Okay, so how do you introduce one carbon? This is slightly tricky. So this is last question today, and try to understand this one, as it is slightly tricky. What you have to obtain from ethanol is CH3CHO. Okay, no, sorry, ethanol, CH3CH2OH. From ethanol you have to obtain CH3COCH3. Acetone you have to obtain. Now in this case you can introduce one methyl group if you want by using the Grignard agent, but that replaces the carbonyl group as well. Okay, so there are two ways to do it, and the way I am telling you is the efficient one which you need to use. Okay, so what we do in such cases, that in this case first we oxidize the OH group to acidic group, OH group to acid group. For that obviously you can use KMnO4 with H2SO4, and it will be CH3COOH. Okay, now why we are doing so? Because acids can be converted to anhydrides, and anhydrides have double the carbons. Anhydrides have double the carbons. So acid we will convert to anhydride. Okay, we used slaked lime for that, to convert acid to anhydride. So it converts it. Obviously there will be two moles required, so I'll write it in a separate reaction. So whenever you have to use more than the produced, write a separate reaction. Okay, so twice CH3COOH when reacted with CaOH whole twice will give you acidic anhydride type of, sorry, twice. Okay, this is a type of anhydride, metallic anhydride. So now this can be converted to now the ketonic group by simple distillation technique. Okay, means we heat it, and this process is actually called distillation. So you need to remember, although it is just heating, okay, you get CH3CCH3. It is actually, if I write it in this fashion, you will be able to understand more clearly. CH3 whole twice CO. Okay. So this is actually acetone. So it is three-step process, and try to memorize how it is done. Okay, Namita, I'll show you the previous question. Yes, Tathagat, I'm going to tell that. Okay, that is slightly lengthy. Okay, but yes, that is the way I'm going to tell you. But your teachers, your examiners would be expecting this particular conversion if they are asking ethanol to acetone. So that's why I am asking again and again, memorize this one, memorize this one. Okay, this is the popular method to convert ethanol to acetone. Now, if you apply whatever knowledge you already have, what you can get, you convert ethanol, you use the Grignard agent. Okay, you use the Grignard agent, you convert to alcohol. Grignard agent can be converted to alcohol by simple hydrolysis, acidic hydrolysis. After that, you can convert that alcohol to ketone again. Okay, what I am saying, trying to understand. Second method will be CH3CH2OH, and you use and write it in the way that okay, convert it to aldehyde. And I write this as COH. Then use CH3MgBr. Then it will be CH3 CH CH3OMgBr. Then do acidic hydrolysis. Then it will be CH3CHOH CH3. Then do reduction. Okay, sorry, oxidation. CH3CHOH CH3. Then you can do oxidation. For oxidation, you can use PCC or you can use Cr2O3. It will be CH3COCH3. So that will be 4-step process.